Video 2 on this section is characteristics of less developed countries. Right, less developed countries have a low per capita income, widespread poverty. Now, the problem if you have a low per capita income, you don't save very much. If you don't have savings, then there's less money available for investment. There's also a lack of demand in the economy. So we need to analyse each of these if we get a 15-mark question on it. There's a shortage of capital. There's a shortage of human capital, but there's a shortage of investment which will go into the economy. For example, Mohammed Yunus, he wrote a really cool book on microfinance, is saying that if you just give people a small amount of money, they'll be able to start a business in a small way. Tends to be very large rates of population, and they tend to have fairly young populations. And that also creates a problem because often the populations are increasing at far more quickly than economic growth. There's often massive unemployment. Now, this creates all sorts of problems, a lack of demand in the economy, radicalisation, crime, etc. Dependency on primary production. So they tend to have the resources that are extracted by more developed countries. What they don't do is they don't move up the value-added chain. So I spend a lot of time talking about Bethlehem Malamu, who set up all sorts of businesses in Africa, growing their own coffee and then processing the coffee and then selling it and setting up coffee shops all over the world. There's also a dependence on primary production. And we looked at also at that, and the terms of trade have moved against those. So they're getting less money for those goods, but having to spend more money on capital goods that come into the economy. Low levels of productivity, corruption in the government, so therefore it's harder to move on. A lack of property rights, illiteracy in terms of human capital, so therefore people cannot learn and cannot develop. So therefore new farming techniques will not come about. So less developed countries are often up against it.